I'll turn the microphone on. That always makes it a bit more worthwhile. And I'll mute the sound from my computer there. Good evening, everybody. Nigel Adams already sitting in the front row with Sue. Oh, Bonnie lad, how are you doing in the northeast? We have John Coombs also in the front row, coming at us from near Huddersfield in Yorkshire. James Ramsden, who I think was in... Is it Skipton? You are, James? Is that right? I can't quite remember. Good evening. Dave Ward. Hello, Dave. You're on the south coast, aren't you? On is it Portsmouth or Plymouth? I can't quite remember. Portsmouth, I think you are. Near my friend Fred Dinage, who lives in Hambledon, halfway between Southampton and Portsmouth. We have Anne Ashmore. Good evening, Anne Ashmore. Anne, where are you? Let me know. I know it'll take about 40 seconds for you to hear this and then for it to appear on my message screen here. But Anne, let me know where you are. Achtung, Dave. Good evening, Dave. Where are you? Achtung, David. Ich habe something in Deutsche for you tonight. Achtung, Dave. Yolanda Servia, buenas tardes. Good evening. How are we, Yolanda? Robert Jennings, boom. Brian Thomas, Ohio reporting. Whoa! Brian, congratulations on being the furthest out there at the moment, although I have a feeling we might just get someone in from New Jersey and someone from California if we're lucky. Let's have a look. We have Carol Summers. Hello, Carol, in Newcastle. And Steve Summers, no doubt. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Ohio, James Ramsden. Yes, I was right where you were, correct. You're in the cheap seats tonight, Tintin, rocking kitten. No, you're not. You're definitely second row, which I think is a premium place to be. Anne Ashmore is in East Yorkshire, not far from Hull. Now, I can't remember if I've told you this before, but my dad was brought up in Doncaster, not that far away from you in Hull, and I spent a large part of my summer holidays up in that part of the world. And do you know why people in Hull, first fact of the evening, do you know why people in Hull don't say don't know, say don't know? I bet you know, but for those who don't know, or don't know, it's the influence of the Vikings. As you know, the east side of Britain was heavily influenced by the Danelaw. It was ruled from Denmark for many years. And the Norwegians and the Swedes, of course, when they write the letter O, they put a diagonal line through it, like in Volvo. And if it doesn't have that line through it, that O is pronounced I. If it's got a line through it, it's pronounced O. So that's why people in Hull say don't know as opposed to don't know, because they see the O's and think that they're E's. They are so influenced by the Norwegians. It's true, I tell you. Look it up. Who else have we got? Dave Jewell. Hello, Dave Jewell in Cardiff. VB, Violet Berlin, who is the nearest, sitting on the sofa over there. Violet, hang on. I'm not coming over to you, but I am going to disconnect the microphone so you can shout hello. Violet Berlin, live from the other side of the living room. Oops, I've lost my spit catcher again. I hate doing this. Anyone who knows me will know I despise foam. There are only 3 things in this universe, five things in this universe I despise. Foam, I can't handle. All my flight cases when I was a roadie were lined with urethane, not this stuff. Cheese is the other one, apart from mozzarella and paneer. All of the cheese makes me sick. Wham, never liked wham. And what was the other one? Liver. Even when I ate meat, which was a long time ago, could never eat liver. Let me pop that on. Oh, hang on. Breathe in. There, how's that? Nice to have you with us. I'm just putting my cable up out of the way like a good roadie. I hope I'm not distorting tonight, by the way. I noticed last week I had the sound turned up so loud that occasionally when I sang, it distorted. I'm going to take my headphones off. Don't need me headphones on. How are we looking? All right, can you see behind? Is it lit well? Does it sound good enough for you this evening? Chris Bohr saying, Yechid da, good health. Chris, I am drinking coffee this evening in a very elegant mug. Isn't that great? That mug looked great, like it's had paint dripped all around it. This is actually Violet's favourite mug. Violet made me a coffee. And it's a little on the cool side now because I've been busy preparing. Who else have I not yet said hello to? Paula Gregory, my niece, my sister Mel's daughter, and her boyfriend Rue up there in Colwyn Bay, Ross-on-Sea. Bass Bar, Mark Sepek. Hello, Mark. Mark, you're in Bristol, I think. Is that right? You're in Bristol. Who have I missed out? Don't think I've missed out, but nice to have a bunch of regulars there. I'm hoping that we get some new people joining us this evening, but I am particularly grateful that you lot have decided to join me yet again for this, the 7th lockdown live stream. That's ridiculous. Does that mean we've been locked down for 7 weeks or even 8 weeks? I think I possibly missed the first week, didn't I? That's amazing. So, we'll start with a song, shall we? It's traditional to start with a song. That's what we do now that we've got everybody in. And let me just cue up this song for you and get it in the right position so I can check the chords. Again, this is a song that I've known since about 1979, 1980. But I still have to have the chords and lyrics in front of me. And it's a fairly straightforward song. Some of you will know it. Most of you won't. But it's a straightforward song. But it's got 2 very, very clever chords in it. And also, I'm going to have to pause halfway through this song to scroll down the song to get to the second half of the song. But, oh, happy VE Day, by the way, everybody. Happy VE Day. Happy Bank Holiday Weekend. Waiting for the summer, waiting for the crowds, waiting for the holidays. Gone is the winter, here comes the summer. It's a Bank Holiday Weekend. From May 27th to May 28th, the wait isn't as long as it seems. Because here comes the people, here come the crowds. It's a Bank Holiday Weekend. But you know it's all got to end. I'll do that bit again. But you know it's all got to end. Go on, Nige, I know you know this one. It's a Bank Holiday Weekend. Nothing ever seems to go on. A peaceful holiday weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. Hang on, I'm going to scroll down to the next bit. That's why. Hang on. There's fight in the beaches, fight in the pubs. Kids everywhere to be seen. The summer is starting, they turn back the clocks. It's time for ice cream and rock. But you know it's all got to end. It's a bank holiday weekend. Nothing ever seems to go on. A peaceful holiday weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. Where do they come from? I don't know. Where do they go to? I don't know. But you know it's all got to end. Everybody. It's a bank holiday weekend. Nothing ever seems to go on. A peaceful holiday weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. Something like that. Actually, I messed that chord up. It's C minor in that final bit. It's not C sharp minor, it's a G minor. So that last bit is supposed to go, it's a bank holiday weekend. Nothing ever seems to go on. A peaceful holiday weekend. It's a bank. Oh, hang on. A peaceful holiday weekend. That's it. A passing G sharp minor. A peaceful holiday weekend. A bank holiday weekend. Oi! That song, written by my great friends Mike Peters and Eddie MacDonald. Eddie, who may be joining us tonight. I love that tune. Bank Holiday Weekend was the first and only single released by 17, the band who became The Alarm, in 1980 on Vendetta Records. And what an absolutely storming tune that was. The other side was Don't Let Go. And I remember when John Peel played it, the actual John Peel, on Radio 1, would have been 1980. He played it and said, a sort of Gary Glitter feel, I think. A Gary Glitter feel. That means something completely different these days, doesn't it? Right, who's joined us whilst I'm singing the song? Dave Ward. It's just like The Alarm are live in my lounge. Well, almost. No. If The Alarm are live in your lounge, Dave Ward, you'd know about it, because they get those passing G minors effortlessly. They were always far better musicians than me. Nige Adams, class. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Chris Bort, 17. Yes. A great tune. Absolutely love that. Very proud of my period connected. Can I play the B-side too? Well, it was a double A side. Don't Let Go. Off the top of my head, it started with a sort of an open D. Something like that. No, I can't play it. Those are the opening four chords anyway, not that much. Oh! Thank you, Violet Berlin. I've got a marvellous girlfriend. Why have I got a marvellous girlfriend? Look at this. Look at this. I'm not having Penderyn tonight. Violet thought I should ring the changes. I'm having this. Look at that. Look at that. That's a work of art. That's not a drink. Frozen orange. No, dried orange or frozen orange? Dried orange, dried lemon, juniper berries, ice, fresh lemon. What? Oh, right. Here we go. I know. Look at this. Race car cocktail syrup. Race car. For me. Why? Why would you do that for me? And to wash it down, the gin is La Distillerie de Monaco. Gin au agrumes. And I'm afraid I don't know what that means. My French isn't terribly good. My English isn't that good. Or my Welsh. Klingon's not too bad, though. And this is the original gin from Monaco, which used to be served in, is it called Rosie's Bar? The bar at Monaco where all the Grand Prix drivers, even in the days before Formula One in the 1930s, used to drink there, which is why it's in that elegant Art Deco bottle. Isn't that nice? Do you want to hear my gin story? My gin story. I was round a friend's house, visiting for the first time my fantastic friends Alex and Anna, who live round the corner from me here in North London. And we'd been out to the pub. We'd had some Guinness, wonderful, a little happy and merry. Went round to their place for the first time. I'd actually been to this apartment that they lived in, and Anna said, "Would you like some gin?" Yes, I said, I haven't drunk gin for 35 years. This'll be an experience. Gin was always an old lady's drink, you see. It was never a fashionable drink. Now it's very fashionable. So I had a glass of gin, and for about 15 minutes, had a brilliant time. It was amazing. Then suddenly realised I had to go home. I went from quite happy to, well, as you will hear, blind drunk in the space of 15 minutes. I'm such a lightweight. And so I went downstairs and I got to the gate and I couldn't find the buzzer to let me out of the gate. It was quite a high gate. And I suddenly realised, it was the first time I'd been to Anna and Alex's, I had no idea what number they lived at. So I couldn't get back into the flat and say, and I couldn't get to the buzzer. And I looked at my phone, and unfortunately, I was finding focus a little difficult. Unable to see on the phone. Oh my God, I can't actually read. Eventually, I gave up. I just sat down against the wall, closed my eyes for about 10 minutes. May have had a little nap, and came round. Tried and eventually hit the last number I dialed, which mercifully was Alex, who'd just gone to bed by this point. I said, Alex, I can't get out. How do I get out? Where's the buzzer? Well, where are you? I'm by the gate. Oh, well, it's behind you. It was about 20 foot behind me, way behind me. So I went down, pressed it, went zzz, ran, open, got the gate, came home, boom, flat out. So gin. Beware gin. I'm conditioned to drinking Welsh whiskey on this show. Who knows the effect that gin will have me? What are you lot drinking this evening? What are you having? Let me know. Now, I asked a question earlier on. Let's have a look. Oh, Nigel Adams has got an original 17 poster he needs signed. Well, I can arrange that. Nige will be coming over from California. Nige is the only member of the band who lives in the States these days. But if he comes over in August and I've got that poster, I'll get Nigel to sign it. And it's easy enough to get the others to sign it. Eddie's around most of the time. And Sharpie we see at the gathering. And Mike Peters, he's usually somewhere, isn't he? R. Fred Williams. Good evening, R. Fred Williams. R. Fred Williams. Does that mean that you're our Fred Williams? Or is it Robert Frederick Williams? Just checking the time. John Jones, my brother. Google won't play, had to reset. What are you on Google for, John? You don't need Google. Just go to YouTube. Hello, brother. Nice to see you. Who have I not said hello to on here so far? No. Right. Tintin, what are you drinking? You're drinking soya chocolate milk with orange juice. Kakaotrunk. I seem to remember a German brand of chocolate drink called Kakaotrunk that we used to drink in the 80s when we were on tour. It was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I don't do dairy these days, so I couldn't do that anymore. It would have to be soya. That would be great. So I'll share your soya drink. Dave Jules on green tea. Very civilised, very grown up. Mind you, you were on rum and coke earlier on. Really? Rum and coke. Hardcore. Well, it is VE Day. Oh, by the way, VE Day. Stand by. Wait for it. I haven't gone away. Just doing a little something. I hope this works. If I sit there, look at that. Euroman cometh, as Jean-Jacques Bonnel said in about 1979. Jean-Jacques Bonnel, the only surviving original member of the Stranglers. I'm very, very saddened to report this week because we lost Dave Greenfield, the keyboard player, the only two original members still in the Stranglers. Jet Black is sort of too old to do a whole tour these days, the drummer. He does join for like a song or two at the end of the night, but generally the only originals were Jean-Jacques, my hero, and Dave Greenfield. Yeah, my two big musical heroes growing up were Jean-Jacques Bonnel and Jimmy Lee from Slade. Bass players, you see. I became a bass player, and I love the way both of them played. So, my European friends, my friends in the Netherlands. Oh, let me check on the Facebook if Rachel Knoll is there on the Facebook, because of course we're streaming live not only to YouTube but to Facebook as well. Graham Rowley is on Facebook. Hello, Graham. Hello, Graham. Peter Upton. Sorry, Gaz, the Queen is speaking to us. Can you wait? Do you mean Elton John? Let's see, who else have we got on here? Ooh, a lot of people on the Facebook page. Yeah, you people watching on Facebook, if you like, pop over to YouTube and you can join in all the comments there. Claire Roberts saying it's been a bad week for keyboard players passing. Yeah, we lost Florian Schneider from Kraftwerk as well, which really, bizarrely, upset me even more than Dave Greenfield. I love Dave Greenfield, but I think losing Florian Schneider, he was influential in ways not even the Stranglers were. They were tremendous. Edward Coppock. Hello there, Edward. Nice one. Love the flag. Europe forever. We are Europeans, even if we're not members here in the UK of the European Union. We can form an alliance. I'd rather be a member and form an alliance with them for now. Rachel Knoll. Hello, Rachel. I thought you'd like that. Good. Yes, where's Andy, by the way? He should be here. Bad should be here. I know he'd enjoy seeing that up there. And any like-minded, sensible person out there, I hope as well, will enjoy seeing that. Okay. Oh, a new name. Garth Don. Black coffee. Still have work for the next 3 hours. Then beer. I shall join you for a virtual beer later. Hello, Garth Don. Where are you, Garth Don? Where in the world? In the UK or elsewhere? If so, where? Raf is my great friend Raf, who manages the GarethJones.tv website, is in Glasgow under Spotted Parappa the Rapper right there. Where is he? Where's Parappa? Right there. There he is. Well spotted. That's Violet's actually. Violet's a big Parappa fan. Sometimes Violet looks like Parappa when she wears when you used to wear that sort of little cap thing, that woolly hat, you definitely resembled Parappa in a lovely way. Hyper Kerry. I've just popped over from Facebook. Hello, Hyper Kerry. Nice to have you over here. We haven't deserted Facebook. We left no one there. Tumbleweed in Facebook. Eddie McDonald is here. Is that the package holiday flag? That flag, Eddie, were you here earlier on when I was doing Bank Holiday Weekend? You can tell me the correct chords. Is it a passing G sharp minor or is it a passing C sharp minor? I'm playing it in A. I know you probably played it in A sharp, didn't you? Or B flat, didn't you? But because we used to tune a semitone down back there in the 70s to save voices on tour. But now I'm down a whole tone, like Tom. And no, that flag, I actually bought that flag at Le Mans, at the Le Mans 24 Hours a few years ago. Round about, gosh, when did we have the vote? Was it 2016, V, yeah? So it must have been 2016. And I remember when the race was over, we all invade the track and go and stand underneath the podium, celebrate the winner. And I bought a Euro flag because the vote was coming up. And I'm a strong European believer. I really, really am. You probably noticed. And my friend Damien also bought one, and we fixed them to the back of my backpack. So I look like, what's his name, Deathstroke, but with two crossed European flags billowing in the wind as I marched down with thousands of flags of all the nations who come to Le Mans. It was absolutely brilliant. And then I got home and everyone voted, not everyone, enough people voted leave. Why? Why, in the name of all that's rational and sane, would you make such a backwards move as that? Because that's what it is. Enough. Right. Erna B. Hello, Erna. You've popped over from Facebook as well. It's worked. I've brought all the people over from Facebook to here, so it's easier for me to see your messages. Erna, where are you? Where are you? Garth Don, you're in Cork in Ireland. Yes, of course. Sorry. Of course you are. Hey, talking about Ireland, have you been watching Normal People, everybody? Have you seen it? BBC Three production. It's on demand on iPlayer. Great. It's absolutely fantastic, so it is. I'll try and do a Sligo accent for you if I can. What's his name? Donald, isn't it? Donald, the character. Donald reminds me of my friend Steve, you know. He's very composed. Steve Summers I'm talking about. Very sort of composed, and every now and again we'll say something like, right. That was my impression of Donald. If you haven't seen Normal People, you won't get it, what that's all about. And the other thing he says is, Jesus Christ, Marianne. That's it. That's all he does. I thought they were great. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely programme. And what's the name of the girl in it, V? Jones? She's got a... Edwina something Jones. The girl in... the name of the actor in Normal People. She's in War of the Worlds as well, the French-Canadian production, which is brilliant. If you've seen that on Fox... Very good, very good. Anyway, and then Trump became... Yes, what about the Basques? Yes, Stephen Summers, our great friends, the Basques. I remember seeing a documentary about the origin of language way back in the 80s and hearing a Basque hill farmer singing a song in Euskeran, which is the language that they speak down there. And thinking, my God, he sounds like he's from Snowdonia. Or something about the way that he spoke was like this. Sounded like someone from Gwynedd. No doubt of our connection with our fellow Celts. Oh, what's her name? I've forgotten her name. We met, yes. Erna, yes, of course. Erna, I didn't recognise your name. I should have done. Erna, yes. Now, yes, Erna and I met in Seattle. On the Alarms Sigma tour last year, and before the show, the Alarm have this sort of meet and greet thing where you can come and spend an hour talking to Mike and I, and we'll perform some songs together and tell some stories. It's a bit like this actually, but with a proper musician. And in conversation to Erna, with people, we discovered that Erna had come all the way down from Alaska to see the Alarm in Seattle because we weren't going there. And we discovered that she speaks, is it called ASL? American Sign Language, as opposed to BSL, which is British Sign Language. And I explained that in BSL, there's actually a name for me. Well, not for me, for the name I had in the 80s. When I was called Gaz Top, the BSL sign for my name was that. That means Gaz Top. It was just a way of... Oh, the guy with the crazy hair. Oh, look, my hat is falling apart. This hat, it's actually wired up, although it's not wired up tonight. It needs a battery and a bit of soldering. So I can light up the bill. I'm going to work on that so it illuminates my face. Anyway, Erna, yes, we met, and I got her up on stage with me to introduce the band. I think I told that story on stage and then introduced the Alarm with the American Sign Language. Respect. So it's another language spoken tonight. We've had a bit of French, attempted Dutch, German, yet to come, bit of sign language. Mi fydd na rhywfaint o Gymraeg hefyd, wrth gwrs. There'll be a bit of Welsh, of course. Roscommon, got the Irish in there as well. Okay, who else we got? Adam Bagley from the Black Country. Oh! Right. Black Country, how's it going? You say downside Boston in the Black Country, really. That's a Birmingham thing. I always think the difference between Birmingham and the Black Country. In the black country, I can hear that this is a sort of a working class accent. It's bordering on Yorkshire. You can hear it. But in Birmingham, people in Birmingham, they sort of sing. They keep it going like that. That's the key difference between you hear someone, you go, you're from Birmingham or you're from the black country. That's how you tell. In my ears, anyway. Have I ever told you the theory that Phil Cornwell and I came up with a long time ago about how to tell where somebody is from in the UK? You know, most of us can tell the difference whether someone is from the north or the south. Bath, north. Bath, south. Why they say Bath, I don't know. There's no R in it. There's no double A. It's Bath. Path. Path. But I reckon it's just as easy to tell whether someone is from the east side of the country or the west side of the country. And it's that old Danelaw thing. You've basically got the Celts on the west, and you've got all the Scandies and the Saxons on the eastern side. So let me give you an example. People on the west side of Britain, the best example, people in, let's say Bristol for now. Bristol, it's all drawn out and out. People in Bristol, it's all, oh, the great old thing there, come to Bristol, right? And so you apply that all the way up and down the country. For instance, Glasgow. If you come from Glasgow, it's long and drawn out, isn't it? Where are you from? Glasgow. Long and drawn out, west side of the country. You go over to Edinburgh on the east. It's basically the same accent, but it's all short and clipped. People from Edinburgh, they've got the same accent, they just talk short and clipped like that. Everything's short and chop, chop, chop like that. And it's the same. Bristol's all drawn out like that. Norwich, the same accent, but it's all short and clipped. People come from Norwich, the great old thing there, covered in mud. Yorkshire, you know, if you come from Bradford, you sound like that. Bradford, reach short, you know, like that. But if you got the same accent, but you're all drawn out and rounded like that, you're from rural Lancashire, you know, Garstang, Burnley, Blackburn, Oldham, places like that. The Welsh, North Wales, all drawn out like that, drawn out. South Walians, all drawn out like that, no? Very long. There's your rule. Short clip down the east side of the country, all drawn out on the west side of the country. Forgive me if I've told you that before. It's been a theory I've had for a long time. Welcome, Claire. Hello, Claire Kitab. Is that how you say your name? Kitab. That's a lovely name. Who is P.I.? Asking for the last chicken in the shop, please. I'm not doing an impression of the last chicken in the shop. Can you imagine? Geordie. Well, Geordie's all short and clipped like that, Nigel Adams is saying. Because you're on the east side and you're influenced by all those Scandi types as well. You're practically Norwegians. You're basically Vikings. That was a terrible northeastern accent. Yeah, Rocking Kitten, it is a huge honour to have my own sign. It is a massive honour. I am genuinely made up with that. Now, I did promise... in the Valley of the Crows, Tony Taylor in South Wales. Yes. I've got to guess who this is. You're Welsh. P.I. Not a clue. Not a clue. It's noon in Alaska, so yes, it's an afternoon show. Daytime television in Alaska, I am.
Damien's been watching last week's episode by accident.
No, Damien. How did you do that? Violet just tells me Damien's been watching last week's episode by mistake. Really? This is the here and now. It's now. Happy Europe Day. Happy... See, VE Day, you know, some people are sort of saying, oh, it's a great day for Britishness. No, it isn't. It's a great day for peace in Europe. That's what it's all about. Peace in Europe. That unity that and peace that the European Union has protected for so many years is a wonderful thing, and to be cherished, to be part of a community is very important. Dagworth waves. Hello, Dagworth. Who are you, Dagworth, and where are you? I need to know. What's PI an acronym?
Nigel. It'll be Nigel.
Nigel, police inspector.
Police investigator.
Private investigator. Is that what PI stands for? Is that you, Nigel? You missed it. If you're here, then you missed. It's a bank holiday weekend. Nothing ever seems to go on. A peaceful holiday weekend. A bank holiday weekend. You missed that. Or did you? Were you there lurking? Dave Galpin! Hello, Dave Galpin! Big fan of Gareth Jones on Speed. And as it's 25 to 9 already, maybe we ought to... Yes, it is Nigel. He says he's in San Francisco. Yes, hello, Nige. Missing you over here, Nige. Nige, my friend Nigel Adams, who is on here, has got a 17 poster that he would like you, as the drummer in 17 and the alarm, to sign. So next time you're in Britain, remind me, and I will get it from Nige, and I'll get Nige to sign it. Both Niges. Dagworth has already said who he is. Look back up the chat, a few messages. Okay, hang on. I'm going to ask Violet to find that out. Have you got them? Can you scroll back? You can't, can you? You can. Violet, find out who Dagworth is while I move on to the next thing. Let's talk about Gareth Jones on Speed, shall we? As you know, for 16 years, wow, I've been making a podcast about cars. It's pretty geeky, but we don't just talk about cars. We have songs and sketches, and we allow ourselves to divert into the wider universe of culture. And I've written, I don't know, over 200 songs and recorded them for the show. But I did something 5 years ago that I haven't done for the show before. We recorded an episode of Gareth Jones on Speed live in front of an audience in London, in Islington. We rented a back room in a pub for an evening and invited. Dave Galpin was there. That's why I'm doing this. And I put a band together. Philip Rossbach. Hi, Gaz Top. Love this. And on Speed. Gaz Top? Where? We hang on. Where's me media folder gone? Hang on. Stand by. Wait for it. Here's my media for 7. I put a band together because we did the show live. I thought, wouldn't it be brilliant if I could put a band together to play some of the songs that we'd written? They're all sort of parody, original songs, but in the style of well-known artists for Gareth Jones on Speed. Rather than me just record them at home in front of my desk here, playing all the instruments, why not actually put a band together to play the songs live? So we did, and I'd like to introduce you to the band for those of you who weren't there previously. Here they are. This is the On Speed Band. I'll start down in the bottom right-hand corner. Right next to me is Steve Allen Jones. Steve Allen Jones, been my great mate for 40,000 years. I'm not exaggerating. Was in rival bands in North Wales, nicked half of my band to form a great band, and then became my mate. We were in a band together, and when I write songs, I send them to him and say, how's the production? He's the man. Above him is Richard Porter. Richard Porter is one of my co-presenters on Gareth Jones on Speed, and he's the man behind the Sniff Petrol website, and he was the script editor, actually the script writer, for Top Gear, but he was only allowed a script editor title on that show for 12 years or more, and then went on to the Grand Tour. The cleverest, wittiest, most acerbic, sharpest man I know. He's brilliant and a huge asset to Gareth Jones on Speed. Above him is Eric Boitier, a young French, rockabilly rebel, I suppose he is. Plays a mean set of drums. He's a friend of mine from my neighbourhood here in Stoke Newington, and one day I said, I'm going to pull in a favour and have you as my drummer, and I did, and he was great. Going on the top line here, this is Freddie Draper. Now, Freddie's mum and dad I've known for many, many, many years, and I went to a party which Freddie was at, and I remember when he was born. Freddie was about 19 years old at this party. And Freddie said, I'm a bass player now. I said, oh, really? Oh, I love bass players. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Lee from Slade. He's my number one hero in bass playing. And Freddie said, oh, I love the way Jimmy Lee plays. He walks up and down the whole time. He doesn't play like a bass player. He plays like a guitarist. He plays lead bass the whole time. And I said, oh, my trousers, here's someone who understands how Jimmy Lee plays bass. One day when I put a band together, you're going to be the bass player in my band. He said, okay. And about 3 years later, he was. Now, very sadly, next to Freddie there is my great friend Anna Marie Borg. Anna, who I've known since 1985, and is a tremendous singer. Maybe I should say was a tremendous singer, because maybe a year and a half, 2 years after that gig, we lost Anna to lung cancer. Lost a friend. But I'm thrilled to have had the chance to sing with Anna in my band. She came and sang backing vocals. Now, next line down, Zog here. This is Zogger, my co-presenter on Gareth Jones on Speed, and the whole reason that we made the show. A brilliant electronic musician in his own right, and we collaborate on electronic songs. Below Zog, Melissa, old girlfriend of mine. You've heard me talk about Melissa. She sang on the Sunday's tribute here on Gareth Jones on Speed. I got her to come and sing backing vocals alongside Anna Marie. What a powerful lineup of those two girls that was. And on guitar, my old mate, there he is, he's watching right now, Eddie McDonald, the guitarist in 17, the bass player in The Alarm, the man who wrote 68 Guns with Mike Peters and so many other brilliant songs. So look, this band, I put together a band of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 glorious people who all said, yes, I'll be in your band straight away. I am flattered. I will never forget when we did rehearsals. We only had 1 day's rehearsals, and the band came up to speed really quickly, amazingly talented. And we've been rehearsing. What? Oh, I'm still on the picture. Am I? Oh, no, that's because you're behind me. I've come back to me. Yeah. Violet's saying that the picture's still up on screen. No, we're back to me now. It just that 30-second delay in the living room. You won't notice it at home, but Violet will, of course. So I remember when we rehearsed. In the morning, we just rehearsed me, Eric on drums, and Eddie on guitar, me playing guitar. Then Freddie joined on bass. Then we got Richard to come and do some vocals, and Zog joined on keyboards. So we grew the band. And then in the evening, the two girls came and sang backing vocals, and we did one of the songs that we do in the style of I wrote in the style of T-Rex, actually, with big female backing vocals, and it was so good. I broke my heart. Genuinely blown away. Tears. It was so wonderful to hear one of my songs sort of come alive, perform better than I ever could, as you know. But we put the band together, and we recorded we didn't record, we performed a bunch of songs live on the night, and we videoed some of them, and I prepared one of them with my friend Zog for your entertainment and pleasure, and here it is. This is us doing a song in the style of The Jam. I remember going on holiday to New Zealand and being limited to driving at 50 miles per hour in New Zealand, thinking, wish I was on British motorways. And in that came the idea of a song, Everything's Okay, back in the UK, which we recorded in the style of The Jam. So here we are live, the On Speed band, Everything's Okay, back in the UK. This is a song that requires you lot to start with, we are the mods, we are the mods, we are the mods. Go on. Ha 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 ha. I was so... Oh.
Thank you. And good night.
I was so... All right, Mr. Jones, thank you for the shouting. I was so immeasurably happy on that night. I can't tell you. Just the sheer joy, the solidity of having that incredibly talented band around me, far better musicians than I ever could be, was glorious. But just having Eddie alongside me felt particularly special because I was Eddie's roadie. I was his best man the first time he got married as well, and he was a great mate. But Eddie said something, it just felt completely normal, he said. It felt completely, it's your band, I'm there with you. It felt like we've been doing it forever. And that is one of the nicest things I've ever heard anyone say. That made me happier than almost anything anyone has ever said to me. I can't tell you. Thank you very much. Belongs in the On the City album, says Claire Katab. Yes, that period of the Jam, that early period of the Jam, who were so influential on 17, The Alarm, me, anyone really of our age group. Maybe we ought to do that again. All being well, everything will be okay in the UK again soon. Yes, very true, James Ramsden. Very true. When we emerge out of this, because I've promised to do 15 years on Speed, because this is season 16 now. So we've done it for 15 years. That show was called 10 Years on Speed to celebrate the podcast. I'd quite like to be able to do 15 Years on Speed live somewhere to celebrate, but all depends on lockdown plans going away. Right. On Speed band for the Gathering, Dagworth. Now, Violet tells me who Dagworth is. It's Andy Badge, who is not just a pal, but a colleague of mine. He came and did lights on the Alarm Tour, the Sigma Tour in America, when I was there MC, and we travelled together. We had a lot of fun wearing kilts in America together, confusing the Americans. Can I do a Suffolk accent, he asked. Suffolk? Well, it's a bit like Norwich, isn't it? But sort of, bit more like that, isn't it? But sort of, pick it up, put it down, covered in mud. That's what they say in Suffolk, or is that Norfolk? Covered in mud. Cockley Cloy, all that. Worth a shot. I don't know. Evening Toppy, says you, Matico. Hello, Michael Cumming. Hello. Late to the party due to get involved in a local VE Day street party. You've changed. Nice jam work, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Very pleased to be able to do that for you. I had something else lined up for you tonight, but it's not quite fixed yet. So we'll have that at a later show. Diane Blackburn asking, is Tycho better? Yes, Tycho is spelt with an H. Tycho. Hang on. Like the Tycho monolith on in the movie 2001. It's the monolith with all the information in the universe found in the crater called Tycho, Tycho, on the moon, named after a 16th century Danish astronomer. Oh, that's nice and cool. Tycho. Yes, Tycho's better. He had a dip of about 3 days and now he's absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. That's very kind. Brian Thomas, been listening to Gareth Jones on Speed for at least 10 years. Thank you, Brian. Long may it continue. Steve Summers, just to be clear, that was a solid bass. A solid bass is an essential part of life. It is a solid bass. Yes, thank you very much. A solid bass guitar is an essential part of life. True. Gary Catchell, thumbs up for the Euro flag. Tycho magnetic anomaly, Mark Sepek. That's right, that's how they first identified it. It was giving off a magnetic anomaly on the moon. That's how they mapped it. They discovered it buried down in the Tycho crater. Okay, you want another bit of video? Because it's already 10 to flipping 10. This hour is whipped by. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer today, because I promised to do a couple of things. I need to check my notes, actually. I made some notes, because I forget all the things I promised to do. And I made some notes today. Here we go. I'm just checking my notes. Make sure I hit the list. Okay, a special guest. I promised I would have a special guest on the show today. And you won't believe who the special guest is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the coronavirus himself. All right. How's it going? All right. I don't know why he's a Scouse coronavirus. That's because I'm red. You what? I'm red. All right. And how are things being the coronavirus? Well, you know, doing a bit of travel. Travel? Oh, yeah. China? Yes, obviously. All of Europe? Yeah. How's America going? Oh, brilliant. I'm reaching everywhere in America. Where? America. All right. See that? He actually said America. America. It's that end bit. America. Yeah. How come you've got a Scouse accent? Well, you know, I'm very adaptable. Adaptable? Yeah, very adaptable. And I suppose you're mocking my accent. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're from North Wales. And they're all Scousers there, aren't they? We're not Scousers. We sound the same or similar. We're not Scousers. Sorry. Good. You can apologise to all the boys and girls, by the way. Yeah, sorry about all the illness and the bad stuff I do. I don't mean to be bad. I'm just a virus. I'm just doing what viruses do. Viruses have rights too. No, you don't. You don't have a right to do what you're doing. Anyway. Nice to have the coronavirus on the show, I don't think. Say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah. Coronavirus. Because that's Violet's foot massage ball, that is. And I thought it looks just like the coronavirus. So I gave it some black teeth. Horrible, isn't it? And a pair of eyes. All right, on the coronavirus. And I remember, this idea of being able to squeeze a ball and make it into a puppet, that came from Why Don't You? Do you remember Why Don't You? Turn off the television set and go do something else more interesting instead. My friend Charlotte Hindle directed that show, or produced it for a while after she left Get Fresh. Remember Charlotte on Get Fresh? And she did this thing about turning a Satsuma into a puppet. And I thought, yeah, I can do that. Right. That was one of the things I promised to do. I also promised to tell the cuttlefish story. You want to hear the cuttlefish story? The cuttlefish story relates to how to. Relates to how to. Stand by. Where are we? How to. Let me get some pictures up for you on how to. Let's have this. You know these people are, don't you? The how to team. Freddie, Carol Vorderman and me. That was the Mark 1 team. As you know, we went through a number of people over the years. In fact, that picture, by the way, that picture was on the day that we were given an award. Hang on. It's behind the European flag. Here. This award. That is an award from CITV for the best ever children's ITV programme during their 40 years anniversary. And How To won the greatest programme award. And I got to keep the award, which is fantastic. Freddie said, I don't want it, Toppy. I've got enough awards already. And Carol didn't get an option. I just took it. But I'm very proud to have that. Very proud of my years on How. So, that's the original How team. There were others, of course. Let's have a look. What have I got here? Oh, I don't think I've got pictures of the other team. Oh, no. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Let's have a look at the Mark II version of the How team. You may or may not remember that for one series, lovely Sian Lloyd, nutty Sian Lloyd, joined us on How To. Mad as a bottle of chips. I love Sian. She's so sweet. She is a genuine sweetheart. She really is. But Sian did one series and then was replaced by Gail Porter. Here she is, Gail Porter. Oh, no, wrong button. Hang on, stand by. Screen 2, this one. Gail Porter. Here's Gail Porter, who was only with us for one series in about 1998 or something like that. And she had her bum projected, a picture of her naked from behind, projected onto the Houses of Parliament. And unfortunately, as a children's presenter, you can't continue on a kids program doing that, unfortunately. So she had to go, and then she was replaced by what have we got? Let's find a picture of us. Here we are, the How team, the final How team, which is a bit small. Let me make it bigger for you. There we are. Gail McKenna joined us for 7 years. I think Gail was on How. The last 7 years. We did How 2 together, me and Freddie, for 16 years. And Carol was with us for the first 6 years, I think. And then we had Sean Lloyd. Then we had Gail Porter. And then Gail McKenna for the last sort of 7 years. And I think this was the happiest ever team. The Vorderman years were great. They were fantastic. But McKenna was just funny. Absolutely funny. We laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. We had a great time together. But it wasn't on the McKenna years that the cuttlefish story happened. The cuttlefish story. I can't remember who it was who was asking about the cuttlefish story, but I promised it last week. We went to a huge amount of effort on How to get things right and to take care of any living creatures who came on the programme. We often had things like spiders and crickets, and we would set up the terrarium in the How To studio at least 2 or 3 days before we came to shoot the item, and make sure that they'd acclimatised and they had everything that they need and they were happy, and then we'd film the piece. And one day we were doing a piece about a cuttlefish. It was Freddie's item, and just before we came to record the item, you know, we'd had the cuttlefish swimming around happily in this tank of correctly salinated water. The temperature was right. We had experts overseeing the whole thing, and then we covered the tank with a little soft tartan silk. And we said, okay, stand by studio, we're going to do the cuttlefish item. And so we all walked out of frame, and then I rushed back in and I lifted up the tartan sheet and I said, cuttlefish, we're coming to you in about 30 seconds, okay? Right. Put the thing down, walked off, and cue, we walked in and Freddie went, how does a cuttlefish, whatever the how was, I can't quite remember. And he lifted off the tartan silk over the case, over the tank, and the tank was now absolutely opaque, completely black. In that moment where I'd gone over to the cuttlefish and very quietly said, we're coming to you, cuttlefish, I'd frightened the life out of it, and it had shot its load. It had squirted cuttlefish black ink, like all, are they cephalopods? Like cephalopods do, you know, squids and octopus can squirt ink, and cuttlefish can too. The item, we couldn't do the item, you couldn't see the cuttlefish. It was just a black tank of fluid. I was not the most popular presenter in the studio that day. They blamed it on me. I spoke very gently to the cuttlefish. I reckon even if Fred had come to do the item and take the silk off and said, a cuttlefish, it would have shot its load. Poor cuttlefish. We took great care of the animals on, what's it called? How To. And whilst I'm on the subject of animals, I've got a little animal video to show you. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Let me just cue this up. I don't know if you can hear, but very often on Gareth Jones on Speed, and we just get this full screen. Should we have this full screen? I think we can probably do this. Okay. Very often when we're recording Gareth Jones on Speed, we get interrupted by our cat, Finn. We've got a immeasurably loud cat, Finn. Is he here, Vin? He's sound asleep at the moment on the sofa. Should we try and do it live? What do you think? He's asleep, isn't he? He's asleep. Okay. Okay. He'll be asleep at this time next week. What happens? No. Well, I'll show you the video. He interrupts the programme, and we were expecting him to interrupt the show tonight, but he's been very, very quiet. But Finn is a remarkable cat. He's wonderful. He's a Bengal. He's ever so pretty. Have I got some pictures of Finn? Let me see some still pictures of Finn. If I can find some quickly. I'll just show you the video. He's a remarkable cat, and he is trainable. And to prove it, this is something I've trained Finn to do. Watch this. And more importantly, listen. Finn, up on. Now, the Welsh word for ready is barod. Sometimes, if you ask him if he's ready, wyt ti'n barod, he replies, barod. It's worth a shot. Okay, Finn, wyt ti'n barod? That was now, not barod. Wyt ti'n barod? Barod.
Too big.
Okay. Now, how do we ask for more? More. And how do we shake hands to say thank you? Thank you, Dick. Thank you. Thank you. And full house. Fist bump. Give me a fist bump. There, God, it's a fist bump. Proper fist bump. Go on, you can do it. Fist bump. Good boy. There it is. Fist bump for a fist bump. Not only does Finn get a cuddle, but actually I get a cuddle as well, which is the most important thing. Smartest cat in the world, I'm telling you. You sit there and look pretty, okay? Good boy. Isn't he gorgeous? He's a smart kid. And he's not a kid anymore. How old is he? 7 now, V? He must be 7 years old, yeah. When we got him, I mean, you usually pay an absolute fortune for a Bengal. They're very expensive cats. But we found a Bengal who needed rehoming. We sort of adopted him. We rescued him. He was living in an apartment, a flat, with his sister. And he was beating up on her. He was an indoor cat. He didn't want to be indoors. He wanted to be running around in the world. So he was fighting with his sister all the time. But we saw on a forum for Bengal owners. Oops, wrong button. Oh, here we go. Hang on, stand by. That's the right button, isn't it? We found a forum where owners were trying to rehome a Bengal, looking for a new home for a Bengal. And I can't got my glasses on. I'm trying to close the other screen because I want to show you some other stuff. Can't work out how to do it now. Okay, hang on. Video, full screen. Come on, full screen. No, not full screen. Not full screen. How do we close this? Hang on. Oops. Oh no! I've probably killed everything now, haven't I? VLC media player end task. There we go. Yeah, we found an owner who was looking to rehome a Bengal. His sister was called the two characters from Adventure Time. Finn and Fiona. So we liberated him, came to live with us here, and he had no idea he could go outside. He was an indoor cat. When he came to live here and we let him into the garden, he was like, wait, outside? I'm not going out there without you. And he wouldn't go outside unless we were there. But eventually he did. And he loves going outside. He's an incredible cat. Maybe we'll get him to do the old... should we try it now?
Try it.
Should we try it?
Yeah, try it for next week, then you can put the poll over.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. We'll set the poll up. See if we can get him to do it live next week. Not a hope, but it's worth a shot. Just looking at the time, it's 10:05. I've got two things I promised to do before we wrap it up tonight. Andrew Bagley was asking a question about Gilbert's Guide to Life. This book that I had sitting back there last week. Gilbert's Guide to Life. He reckoned that the guy who illustrated this was an artist who did work for Viz. Well, if I tell you that the guy who did the illustrations in this was Malcolm Livingstone, I presume. So it wasn't the guy from Viz. Malcolm Livingstone did the drawings, those lovely drawings of Gilbert on here, which are really great. And all the pictures were done with the aid of John Eccleston. John Eccleston was the puppeteer who operated Gilbert, and he had a wonderful way with props. And he would set up all these scenarios. He would give things for Gilbert to do, and Gilbert would react. And there's Gilbert's best mate, our second best mate, Tropical Ken, by the way. Trop. All right, Trop. I tried to get Phil Cornwell on the show again today to record an interview with him this afternoon, but he couldn't do it. Maybe one day. So, no, sorry to disappoint Mr. Bagley, who is a fine artist. You can go to his website if you want. I can't remember what the address is. It's probably... is it andrewbagley.com or .co.uk? Something like that. If he's watching right now and puts it up on the chat, then you can all see it. Gary Catchell observing that that's what they make black spaghetti from. Yeah, the ink. Is it from cuttlefish? Or is it from squid? Or is it from octopus? Who knows? But it's the ink that gives black spaghetti its colouring. I know that much, yeah. Yes, Lily. Hello, Lily in New Jersey. Hello, my darling. Hope you're safe over there. Yeah, Finn's eyes, they're like Cleopatra. Yeah, he's got absolute killer eyes. Do you want another silly bit of video? Shall I play a very short, silly bit of video before the last song today? This is one that... oops, hang on, pause. This is one that my friend Michael Cumming, who's watching this, will particularly enjoy. Most of you won't have heard of a guy called Jake Thackeray. Jake Thackeray was a Yorkshireman who sang in a sort of a French troubadour style, wrote and sang some quite cheeky songs in the 1960s, the 1970s, then went to live in Wales, and we adopted him as a sort of a Welshman in a way, but a huge talent, a very distinctive style, and a very strange style of singing. And a few years ago, I imagined what it might be like if Jake Thackeray sang a song by Wah. Do you remember Wah? Pete Wiley from Liverpool? So let's see if this works. Have a listen to this.
Here in my pocket I got the story of the blues. Try to believe me, cause it could be front page news. I say I'll live with it like it hasn't happened yet. Keep thinking of everyone I'm on, the one they're trying to get to tell the story of the blues. First they'll take your pride, turn it on its side, and then you realize you got nothing left to lose. So you try to stop, try to get back up, and then you realize you're telling the story of the blues. What they going to say about me when they tell the story of the blues?
That won't make any sense unless you know the song by Wah, and of course the style of Jake Thackeray. Bizarre, a wonderful man. Someone else noticed. Where was it? Who was it? Vinyl Star Records. I do believe you're sporting a Star Trek yellow shirt. Yes, this is actually one of the shirts I got to wear on How or The Big Bang. I can't remember, many years ago, and I got it because it absolutely looks like Kirk's command shirt in the original series of Star Trek. Yes, I know I'm breaking the rules here. I'm mixing my metaphors because that is a communicator pin from The Next Generation, and this is an original series shirt. But just during that bit of video there, I cannot close this blooming video. Hang on. Just during that bit of video, I reached up and pulled this Star Trek communicator pin, which is one of the things adorning my monitor here, along with a NASA badge, a Welsh flag, and a daffodil, and the how hand as well, of course. So yeah, pretty much everything in my universe is represented right there. But yes, well spotted. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Also a big Doctor Who fan. I think I'll probably talk about Doctor Who on the show perhaps next week, maybe, if you're interested, because I have a lot to say about Doctor Who at the moment. Let's have a look at the messages before we wrap this up. Swill! Phil Odgers from The Men They Couldn't Hang. Hang on, where's my badge? He gave me a badge. Where is it? I can't see because it's lit and it's dark. But Swill gave me a badge of the Orville. It's here on my desk somewhere. The Orville is this sort of comedy parody series, a bit like Star Trek, set in an alternative universe. It's ever so funny. And Swill, bless him, sent me an Orville badge, which I wear ever so proudly. And I took it off and put it on my desk the other day, but I can't see it because it's all in high contrast at the moment. Where is it? It is here. It is here. Swill, of course you would notice the Star Trek shirt. Of course you would. You notice that my text sound is from Voyager as well. That's right. When I get a text to my phone, it is the Voyager bleep. Correct. I can see a conversation about Doctor Who starting here. I'm going to save that for next week, yeah? I'll do that because we have an awful lot more. Didn't realise JCB built the Enterprise. Yes, it is a JCB shirt. JCB colours, well spotted, John Coombs. Grazy, almost as bad as MC War's version. I haven't heard MC War's version of that. That'll make you laugh. Should we finish with a song? Should we wrap it up? Have I done everything? Let me check my checklist. I was going to talk about me mum and dad in the war today, as it's VE Day. What I will do, let's have a quick blast of that, right? A quick look at some of these wonderful people. Both my parents fought in the Second World War, so I want to honour them a little bit today. For instance, here she is. That's my mum, Heilwen Fawkes. Isn't she lovely? Look at that big lovely face. In her WAF, Women's Royal Air Force uniform. She was enlisted. No, she wasn't. She joined up of free will. And let's see, she was born in 1921. So when war broke out, she was 23, I think. That's right, yes. And she was based in London on barrage balloons, protecting London by putting balloons up. What a wonderful hero. A hero of VE and Out Day. And I'm assuming she was in London for VE Day. My dad was also in the war. He was a pilot. Here he is, Kenneth Gordon-Jones. He learned to fly. Look at that haircut. Isn't that great haircut? He learned to fly in tiger moths. And here he is sat in a tiger. He learned to fly in South Africa, I think, where the weather was good, in about 6 weeks. And just to prove that they survived the war, here's my mum. Wrong button. That's not my mum. There's my mum in her later years, still absolutely gorgeous. And if I can find a picture of my dad, which I should have here for you to see. Here it is. You'll like this one as well. Here he is, my dad, with a radio-controlled model aircraft in front of him of about 130 inches in span. That was called an Algebra, designed by Sean Bannister. And here he is on Moyle Vamai, which is where, when my dad died, we had his ashes scattered. A mountain, that's my dad, Ken Jones there in the yellow. When his ashes scattered on this mountain, this is where we used to fly radio-controlled gliders together. He was never happier there, so that's where we left him. As you can see, his interest in aircraft from the Second World War stayed with him right to his dying days. My fantastic dad and gorgeous, fantastic ma'am. Look, one last picture. One very last picture. Here we are. There it is. Dad, ma'am, me, my sister Caris, and the photo was taken by my sister Meriel, and John wasn't with us. This was on a holiday in Spain where we drove all the way from North Wales to Spain in 1970, I think. I would have been about 9 years old, though I look about 7 there, I think. And yeah, a fantastic holiday. Mum and Dad looking glamorous in Europe. Whoops, I keep giving you the wrong buttons today, don't I? Sorry about that. Hang on, I'll get there eventually. I just want webcam. Right, concentrate. Yeah, should we finish with a song? I'm just reading. Love that picture of 9, Paula Gregory. That's her grandmother. 9 is the Welsh word for grandma, of course. We're going to finish with a song. Let me get the chords up here so I can perform it for you in the right place. There it is. No, we want it about there, I think. Oh, no, not like that. Yeah. Here we go. I think as we're celebrating peace in Europe, the end of hostilities today, I think I'll finish with that's a lovely thing to say. My respect to your parents. Thank you very much, Dan Blackburn, and great picks, Mark Sepek. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll finish with a European song, I think. I one of the most European songs I know, really. And I'm going to attempt something with this song. There are several versions of this song, 2 distinct versions of this song. I'm going to attempt one of them. There may be a bit of pausing to get the auto scroll going. Hang on, I'm going to quick slurp. The most European of songs. A song that I actually performed at my friend Richard Porter and Jules Porter's wedding a few years ago. I played guitar and sang the backing vocals and sang with a wonderful one with a wonderful voice. But today I'm going to attempt to destroy this song on my own. I will be king, and you will be queen. Nothing will drive them away. We can beat them just for one day. We can be heroes just for one day. And you can be mean. And I'll drink all the time. 'Cause we're lovers, and that is a fact. Yes, we're lovers, and that is that. Though nothing will keep us together, we could steal time just for one day. We can be heroes forever and ever. What you say? Und wir sind der Helden für einen Tag. Besiegen dann wir an diesem Tag. Sorry about the German pronunciation. Ich glaube, so träumen die Mauer im Rücken wird halt. So kalt, Schüsse reißen die Luft, doch wir küssen aus nicht geschieht nichts geschieht. Und ich fiel auf ihre Seite und wir können sie schlagen vor alle Seiten. Dancing wir Helden, nur diesen Tag. Dancing für Helden. Dancing für Helden. Dancing für Helden. Nur diesen Tag. Dancing für Helden. When nothing will help us. Maybe we're lying. You better not stay. But we could be safer just for one day. Happy V-Day, Europe. Love you, Europe. Love you guys. Thank you very much for watching Gareth Jones live. Or those of you who choose to watch it in post. Come and join us again next week. Please spread the word. Share the links on social media. Tell your friends. It's wonderful that we have so many new people joining us today. If you're first time here today, bless you. Thank you so much for coming. Or however you reacted. If you're a regular and you've seen everyone, I adore you. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind. How wonderful during lockdown to have the opportunity to hang out with you guys from my living room. Cheers, y'all, as we say in North Wales. Hwyl, cymeroval, take care, stay safe, and I'll leave you with the regular freeze frame. I was Gareth Jones. Goodbye from Violet.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye. Long life and prosperity. Live long and prosper. See ya.